Hi, it's Evan Grant from D Magazine's Inside Corner, here with Jarrod Saltalamacchia. Jarrod, you know, your evolution as a player, I think there was a lot of emphasis last year put on making sure you were a full-time catcher, first of all, and then improving all your defensive tools. What did you do over the winter in terms of trying to make yourself a better catcher?
I mean, the most important thing for me this offseason was just make sure I was healthy. You know, I got hurt during the end of the season, unfortunate, but it happens. And, you know, so I wanted to go to winter ball to make sure I was healthy, to prove to myself that there's, you know, nothing wrong, that I can go out there and play 100% and, you know, play 120, 140 games. But, you know, then, you know, I've always been a good defensive catcher, you know, don't get me wrong. I mean, what people saw last year was just terrible. I mean, I don't know. Lack of playing, lack of, you know, concentration, you know, whatever it was, it wasn't me, you know. But you know, it was you know, young, growing up, you know, it's something I had to deal with, and you know, moved on. So I think this offseason, my main concern, main goal was just to you know, come to spring training ready for a full season. You know, I wasn't worried about any kind of competition. I wasn't worried about anything else but getting ready for a full season and making sure my pitching staff, making sure, you know, everybody on the team knew that I was there for them, and that's it only.
How much individual time did you spend working and talking with Scott Servais over the winter about just catching in general?
We talked all the time. I mean, we were on the phone at least once a week, you know, all the time. He came down and saw me twice during the off season, and we did different drills that he wanted me to work on, different throwing programs he wanted me to work on. You know, it was a full off season of, you know, strictly baseball, you know, which is something that, you know, I think every young player needs to do, you know. Not playing as much as I did last year, winter ball was perfect. You know, I got to go down there and work on those things. You know, so it was very, very good for me. You know, this off season I'm not going to change anything. I might not go to winter ball or nothing like that, but you know, I'm gonna keep on staying on the same page and just get better. You know, that's my goal, get better.
And specifically, you know, I know that overall it looks like you really have improved in a number of areas defensively, but that time that you spent with Scott this winter, is there anything specifically where you felt like there was a real big difference that was made? Any particular aspect?
Really, all we worked on this offseason was throwing. We wanted to make sure that my throwing was there, because with I have you know, strong arm, and so I try and muscle things a lot. You know, I try and make it every play with my throws, and that was a concern, you know, not trying to throw so hard. So we worked a lot on footwork and my arm action, stuff like that, just to be consistent. Because you know, an everyday big league player, the main thing they do is they're consistent. So that's what I wanted to be, was consistent. And then once I became confident in my consistency, then I can start to, you know, show a little bit more with talent or whatever, and you know, make the harder plays and the, you know, not so routine plays.
Maybe it's just because I actually got to see a replay in ultra slow motion, but Monday night, the first game of the Red Sox series, you make a big play at home plate on Mike Lowell, and I thought, you know, you really did a good job of having to take a throw on the other side of the base and maybe a little bit up the first base side, having to come back, and still, you know, the thing that I saw on the overhead film was that you were able to block the backside of the plate, kind of drive his foot off just a little bit. Can you take us through that play a little bit and all the things that are involved at full speed?
Yeah, I mean, full speed, it's that right there, I mean, is the toughest play, just because your eyes are set to right field. So the guy's coming third, you can't see where he's at, or if he's going inside the line to run you over, if he's going outside the line. So it was a tough play. So when he hit the ball, you know, I was like, all right, Lowell's coming, you know, maybe he'll stop at third. And then I saw the ball bounce off the wall. I was like, all right, he's going to try and score. They made the throw to Kinsler, and I was like, okay, it's going to be a bang-bang play. So I just tried to position my foot in front of the bag, so he had to go around me, either go through me or go around me. And so I put the foot in front of the bag, the throw started going up line, so I backed up a little bit so I can still make the catch and try and do a quick swipe tag, and it just worked out perfectly to where he slid. You know, I didn't know where he was, I couldn't see him, so I just, you know, I assumed my foot was in front of the bag, catch the ball, and just, you know, make the tag on the outside part of my leg to get him out.
All right, and then just to finish up, since that was such a brilliant baseball question on my part, I'll show my baseball punt one more time. The one thing that I've always wanted to ask you about that I haven't figured out is I've never seen a catcher who wears a helmet forward behind the plate. Are you like the only guy that does this, or?
You know, I don't know. It started in spring training because there was a day game, you know, so I always had it in front to cover the sun, so I didn't have to wear glasses or anything. And then it turned into, you know, had a pretty good spring catching wise. So I was like, all right, maybe it's a superstition thing. So
Is this the first year you're doing it?
Yeah, I've always, had it behind me, and even in day games I kind of had it behind me. But for some reason, spring training I started doing it, and it just honestly, the truth of it is, it makes me focus. I think just on what I need to focus on. If it's open, then I look at the outfield and I see everyone moving and where they need to be. If I focus on what I'm supposed to focus on, the pitcher and the shortstop and second, that's honestly why I like to do it, because it really helps me focus.
And do you have to get like a bigger mask just to be able to do that, so you can accommodate the room?
No, it's a regular mask, everything. It's just put it forward.
All right, kids, there you go. Tips from Jarrod Saltalamacchia on being able to focus. You want the helmet facing forward. Thanks, Salty.
I appreciate it, man.
Thanks, man.